What's up, Nico? Oh, getting late on.
What's up, bud?
What's going on?
Just living the dream.
Okay, I'm gonna share this with a couple of friends and let's see where it goes.
All right,
What's up,
sounds
Nico?
good.
Yo, that's Nico. Nico is my buddy from Amsterdam checking in right now.
Nice. I'll be that way in December. I'll be in the UK this December, the early part. So I hope to be able to get some meetings and talk to some folks up there, and we'll be looking at a warehouse up there as well.
For sure, I'm gonna link you up with my guy over there, Ivan, in the UK, and Nico and Denier, his partners, definitely in Amsterdam. I can hook you up with them. Hold on, let me share this real quick. Hold on. I'm just gonna invite everybody.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah.
Man, I was talking to so many people. My voice is a little sore here.
Is it?
Yeah, there was a lot of people. Even though more could have showed up, we still
Uh-huh.
had a really good turnout at Ryan and Christina's show there and at the Arkansas Bully Classic too.
Uh-huh.
And there's still a lot of people to educate. There's a lot of information, so there was a lot of talking, a lot of people. 12-hour day. That was a 12-hour. I was there 12 hours,
Was it 4 shows in one day?
4 shows.
4 shows, nice, nice, nice,
Yeah.
nice.
So
But I'm just sharing some more. Nice.
yeah, but the nice part is Arkansas is so nice, man. This is my second trip to Arkansas in the last 4 weeks. So I enjoy being up here a lot. I love being out in the wilderness here. It's really nice. It's a big break from Houston and the bigger cities in Austin and Dallas, all that. So it's just a joy.
If I didn't have to come to Chicago for this baby shower, I'd have been at the show with you. But I don't think my wife was gonna allow that.
Hey, you could have done a live cast into the baby shower, right? She was still there. That count?
Hey, that's easier said than done. I don't think she would have. If it's okay for me to come live with you, I would do that. If you if you have a spare bedroom. But
Absolutely. Have one,
let me see.
just so you know.
So I've shared it. Let me hold on one second. I've shared it. Hold on one more second. Uh, so what's up, Kenneth? Ken is Mr. Wells is one of the first individuals that he did business with me about 3 years ago. Real good guy. Terry Fowler, welcome. Brooks, welcome. David Cherry, how's it going? Says,
What is
how's it
Deja
going,
right
fellas? Been looking into origins and wondering if it's safe for pups. Also, we're gonna answer all those questions for you today, David. My partner Nate is really the brains behind the whole product. He's the scientist. That's how we have our own personal mad scientist. That's Nate. So any questions you guys want to ask, Nate will be the person. What we would like if you guys can share this as much as possible to get the viewers up. We're really trying to get out here and show people what Origin 5 and 1 is about, what Rogue Bully Science is about, and what Rogue the overall brand is about. Uh, Marcus Jose, welcome. He's an individual. Marcus, ask all the questions you need to ask because I really love your passion. I love that you're not a person that just accepts certain things. You want to, you want people to actually break it down to you. It's something we lack in the bully world. I really like the passion. Marcus is Ryan's partner in Cali, but I love him because he questions a lot, and I like that. I like that. A lot of people in the bully world like that.
now?
He just doesn't accept what's thrown his way. So please ask as much questions as you want to. Marcus, Nate is the scientist behind the actual product and what we're pushing out here and trying to get out here to the bully world. So, go ahead. So, Nate is my partner. I'm going to let him introduce himself and we'll get this started.
Yeah, no worries. Um, Rogue has been in existence for about 2.5 years. We're actually global with this product, so we have multiple locations in
Hold on one
Canada.
second, Nate. Is Nate's volume low with you guys out there? With me, it's kind of low. So I'm just trying to make sure they can hear you. Can you guys hear Nate good? What's up, KC? What's up, Ronnie? Is everybody hearing myself and Nate really clearly? What's up, David?
It's okay. Hakeem, is that louder?
Yeah, I can hear you just a little bit lower. It got lower, but I can hear you. So you sound good. Marcus says you sound good. So go ahead.
Okay. No, No worries. But yeah, this is a global product. We follow certain standards that allows us to get the product overseas. I have a lot of global experience in production animals and adapting, gut health in animals on the production side. So I've been around the world working with some of the best nutritionists, with the best thinkers on animal healthcare and welfare, and how do we actually solve real problems today. And so that's kind of like how it all got started. Is I've been in dogs for over 16 years, training and competing with them, and so I've had the same issues that you have had as well. Especially when you're trying to manage a kennel worth of dogs, you're working them hard, training, competing, and showing them as well. So there's a lot of things that come into play, and a lot of it had to do with my knowledge set. So I was able to solve these problems for myself. And I had a lot of dog folks out there. They're like, Nate, when are you going to fix these problems? We're dying out here. So I finally gave everybody else a chance to solve the problem, but everybody else was asleep at the wheel in the industry. So I actually formulated a product, tested it for 5 years in the field, battle tested it in real life scenarios, solving real problems well before we even actually did a feed study to show that we actually do all these changes, data wise, we can collect those points. So that's kind of the short and sweet of it. I've consulted, and I still consult globally with production animals and other scientific companies, bringing new products in from Germany and Europe into the United States. So the connections I have and the wealth of information that I have is just unparalleled, and I pour all of that heart and soul into Rogue, into Origins, into our new products coming out, because ultimately this is a battle. Our competitors that are starting to take note, they think it's a battle for pet owners' pocketbooks, but this is beyond that. This is a battle we're in this battle for your minds. We're trying to educate the consumer. We're trying to educate dog owners, because if your body of knowledge goes up, you become better decision makers into the choices of how you raise and feed your animals. And ultimately, that's what I feel they don't want you to know. They don't want you to be
Exactly.
a better decision maker. They just want your money. And at Rogue, as well as and everybody that's been working with us, we care about your trust more than your money. I'll take trust of a dog owner, and that we know what we're doing, well over their money any day, hands down.
So, my connection with Rogue Bully Science and Rogue the overall brand was, I linked up with Nate and Blake, my other partner, and I was so impressed by. I mean, when you sit down with Nate, I mean, Nate would have you. He would break things down to the point where I just felt like, man, especially in the bully breed, which is something I'm passionate about and I'm part of the community. I feel like we needed this, so I partnered up with Blake and Nate, and we created Rogue Bully Science. Rogue Bully Science is basically a venture off from Rogue Pet Feed overall brand. And with the bully community, we have a lot of issues that we need to fix within the bully community. And we are also, to me, we're uneducated within the bully community. A lot of us in the bully community just do things just because other people are doing, just follow others. So, when I started learning about this product from Nate, and Nate was just teaching me how, even though your dog eats dog food, your dog is really not retaining all that dog food. What I've learned from them is dog food is really made for shelf life. It's not really made for your dog. It's made more to
Yeah.
last on the shelf and get your money. Your dog actually eats a bowl of dog food. 10, let's example 10 kibbles. Your dog eats 10 kibbles. All your dog is really holding in is two of those kibbles. Um, so to learn about Origin Supplement and um, what Origin Supplement does to the dog, and increases your dog's digestive system, and while increasing your dog's digestive system, your dog is retaining more food. Your dog's overall health improves. I mean, I feel like this is something we needed valuable. We needed this really big in the bully community. So Rogue Bully Science is a branch off from Rogue Pet Feed that's mainly for the bully breed. We're talking about French bulldogs, American bullies, shorty bulls, English bulldog. Even to the exotic guys. I really think Origin 5-in-1 would definitely renovate the whole movement over there in the exotic world, even in the American bully world. So this what we're using this platform for now is kind of for Nate to explain a little bit more into the Origin supplement, so you guys can understand how it's beneficial to what we're trying to do and what you guys are trying to do to better your dogs. And we're gonna take some questions. anything you guys want to ask while we're, on this live. So I'm gonna give it to Nate so he can take over.
Yeah, thanks, Hakeem. Just to answer that earlier question, real nutrition knows no age limit, being that real food does not come with a life, an age restriction. Uh, Real nutrition can be fed to pregnant bitches, nursing moms, and to puppies of all ages. I mean, obviously, a 2-week-old puppy is not going to eat supplemental food. So, about 6-week mark or so, when they start taking in, dry food or supplemental milk, like goat's milk, we use a lot of that as well. You can start feeding it from day one, because what we know in the production animal world, especially around chickens and swine, is that the sooner we can diversify their intestinal tract with different microbes, so the more bugs they have that populate their GI tract, the healthier their immune system gets faster. So you can actually create super healthy puppies, young animals, very early on, which means we can actually program future health of the animal. So the more bugs we get in them, the faster we can develop the digestive tract, from the population of microbes that live in there. That means we can program the health of the animal. They can resist environmental stress better. They can eat more. They'll absorb more. They'll just be healthier. So you're raising a fast-growing, healthy animal that could resist. If you have I would hate to say it, but parvo or distemper come through, that happens. It just still does today, still happens. But even like coccidia, a number of bacterial infections that happen, puppies are messy little creatures. So if they have a better developed immune system, because they have a better digestive tract environment, because of something like origins, they can actually resist and overcome those environmental pathogens better and just be healthier. So that means no antibiotics. You don't have to give them antibiotics, because that is a huge problem with a young animal, giving them antibiotics early on. So we can actually resist that, and then actually they grow better. So just for example, puppies that are raised on origins supplement with dry food versus just dry food alone, that's a huge developmental change in them. They grow very proportionally. They just grow in proportion with each other within their body, and they don't go what I call gated development. So I've worked with a lot of other breeds. I've owned other breeds, and the taller ones are a little bit easier to see that awkward puppy stage where they kind of grow legs, and then they grow out, and they grow legs again and grow out. I call that gated development. The body's going through stages, and to me, that is a nutritional problem, where the body doesn't have a lot of good nutrition to just grow proportionately at the same time. So it has to direct calories towards what the priority is. So long bones, mass, bones, organs, bones. It has to make decisions where origins allows the body the opportunity to have all of it needs. So we have a lot of money in the bank, and the body can just grow as the genetics tell it to grow. So we can actually, rogue puppies reach their genetic potential a lot faster, and that's why they look bigger. So like a 9-week-old puppy, we know what that typically looks like, but a rogue puppy at 8 weeks will look like a 10 to 12-week-old puppy. It'll be 3 pounds heavier, but in proportion to each other. So it's not an overweight, fat, pudgy little dog that you don't have to worry about your long bones.
It's balanced, well balanced pup.
Yeah, well balanced. I mean, it looks beautiful. People confuse some of them that have raised puppies on rogue, which we have quite a few breeders in different breeds. They can't imagine raising another litter without it. They breed their females with it, on it. While they're on it, they raise puppies on it, and it just changes the game altogether. So from a kennel standpoint, from a breeder standpoint, it is a very important tool for them.
And actually, one of the things we're gonna do is George Aguilar from Louis V Line has a litter drop in, I think, in the next month or less. He's agreed to let us. He's gonna split the litter. So we're gonna have half of the litter we're gonna give origins to, and the other litter he's not gonna give origins to. So we're gonna use his litter as a project to kind of show the people the difference in what origin can do to a pup out of one of your litters. So,
Yep.
So another thing I wanted to kind of bring up was a lot of people use raw as a substitute to add it on to their kibble. What I want to explain to them is how the difference between Origin 5-in-1 and raw to your diet of your dog.
Okay, no worries. So the way my brain thinks is I'm thinking about the ingredients, how digestible they are, how species appropriate these ingredients are, right? So we're
Yeah.
talking about carnivore system. Origins is the only supplement designed out there for a carnivore system. It is not a horse product, it's not a swine product, or a or chicken product. It is designed. I spent the time adapting it, practices to design specifically for a carnivore. So we're talking about cats and dogs here. So that's where I start with my thinking. So raw is great. It's the best you can give an animal, especially a carnivore who's designed to eat it in every way, shape, or form, all the way down to the limited enzymes they make to digest just specifically raw and raw components from an animal. Um, but raw also can be very inconvenient sometimes. It could be it's very expensive depending
Yeah,
on what you're
exactly.
buying. So when you think about it, origins, or say, oh, I'm sorry, let's just stick with the raw. Raw in general is between 92 to 96% digestible, right? It's not 100% digestible. There's ligaments in there, there's other tissues in there. The dogs don't break them apart. So you have some insolubles or indigestible components to it. So there's always going to be something, a component of raw that's not 100% digestible. Origin supplement is a wild, air dried, pulverized fish. It is stem to stern, head to tail, scale to organs, the whole fish. That's one of the special aspects of it. It is a raw equivalent, as we call it. It is 92% digestible. So it falls in the range of digestible and species appropriate because dogs and humans evolved around the waterways and they evolved on seafood. That's proven. You can't argue with that. That's just the way it is. So there's a lot of natural occurring amino acids in there, especially
Hmm.
taurine. Origins has a lot of taurine, 158 milligrams of taurine in a quarter cup. So it has all the necessary fatty acids, all the amino acids, the naturally occurring micro and macro minerals, and a lot of vitamins that you would hope you would get in a dry food, but they don't have access to it. You get it in Origin. So it is a raw equivalent. When you start talking about the other aspect of raw, the convenience factor, Origins is dry, you just add it on. It's perfect. You add a little water, it hydrates like that in seconds, as we saw in a video that I made earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, yeah, and then the price, man, 44 cents for most dogs is what it's going to cost you to add 17 grams of protein, 3 grams of total fish oil, including the other 38 fatty acids that no other product has, 755 milligrams of omega 3s, of wild omega 3s. So that's kind of like 1,300 times, 1,300 milligrams equivalency of a diluted down product because the organic raw form of it is way more bioavailable to the animal, to the body, and it's super absorbable. Like there's no way it's not going to get absorbed. And so I think
See,
that's
another
the
thing
big
that I
component.
find great about it is, I'm going to use some of the Animalville dogs personally for this example. We went from probably feeding dogs twice, 3 times a day to now with Origin 5-in-1 mixed in, I feed my dogs once a day. And what I've noticed is some dogs have gained more weight or they're holding their weight at once a day. So that's where that knowledge of by using Origin, you're increasing your dog's digestive system and um where it what it's gaining. So you save money in that. Now you're feeding less. You're buying less dog food. So kind of speak
Yeah.
on that a little, how that benefits on that end.
Yeah. So what you're seeing about you're feeding less and gaining more. So one of the aspects of the of Origins is that it is
I'll be right back, Nate. Go ahead and just keep talking. I'll be right back.
yeah, no worries. So
Okay.
what we have is Origins is super dense, as in the bulk density of Origins is very constant down to a fine size, so it can actually suspend and hold all.
Hello? Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. I think I didn't disconnected Nate by mistake. Hold on one second. 1 second. Nate, are you still there? Hold on 1 second, guys. Somehow we just disconnected Nate. Give me 1 second. I'll be bringing Nate right back. Give me 1 second, guys. Just trying to bring Nate back. One second, guys. Sorry about that, guy. Nate should be coming right back on. Somehow we lost connection. So hold on 1 second, guys. I'm gonna just waiting for him to come back into the room. But what we're speaking on Rogue Bully Science, Origin 5-in-1 supplement. Nate is the scientist behind the actual product. So, I just wanted him to give you guys give a chance to speak to you guys more on the subject. Hold on, here he is. I see you, Nate. So now, but so this is a welcome back, Nate. Sorry about that. Technical
No
difficulty.
worries, man. It just shut off all of a sudden.
So what we're trying to do is we're using this platform right now to give you guys a chance to learn about the product, ask questions. Before Nate was disconnected, Nate was in the process of we're trying to explain to you guys how beneficial Origin 5-in-1 supplement is to the pockets, your pockets when it comes down to spending money. Again, what I was saying was before I started using Origin 5-in-1, I used to feed my dogs personally 2 to 3 times a day. And what I've noticed with Origin 5-in-1 is now by mixing the dog food with a supplement, my dogs are eating once a day, and my dogs are actually hold more weight now or hold the same weight they were holding at 2 to 3 feedings a day. So I wanted Nate to go a little bit deeper into that to explain so you guys can understand also the financial benefit of using Origin 5-in-1.
Yeah. So what you were seeing, Hakeem, is that the Origins is the nutritional density is at least twice the amount of most any other food, even raw. The density is more because it's lower in moisture and the density. So you are adding significant calories already from the Origin supplement, but because you were able to reduce the amount of dry food, the enzymes that are already in there are actually unlocking hidden nutrition in the dry food. Because remember the video, dry food is not really designed to be broken apart. Well, the components of the gut health components side of Origin supplement is designed to actually break down those dry food bonds and actually unlock hidden nutrition that the dogs never had access to. So that's why you were feeding so much and you weren't gaining a lot. And now you can feed less and add Origins in there and you're getting more out of it. So the digestion efficiencies have gone up. The Origin supplement helps it break it apart and unlock that hidden nutrition in the dry food, which adds more calories. And then while improving the gut and the gut lining itself, you're actually the dog's able to absorb more of that nutrition. So what we did is we just increased all the efficiencies designed around digestion, metabolism, and absorption and processing. We just amped it up 100% more than what you were doing. That's why you're able to get away with less and still be gaining, maintain as much weight as some of the dogs are, or actually gaining weight on the other dogs because maybe they had some minor problems or their system was not processing efficiently, and now they really are processing efficiently because we fixed all those little bug points in their process. So at the end of the day, I think we just saved you more money using the Origin supplement, even though that was a cost. We actually saved you more money because all the dry food that you're not wasting out in the yard and your son's not picking up anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're saved it. That so I mean, 44 cents a day is really hard to beat, and the amount of dry food that you were feeding was costing you more than that.
Please, everybody, share this video. We lost a few viewers because of the technical difficulties. Luke has a great question. Luke says, can we see some of the dogs that you're using it on make post before and after shots? We have a lot of before and after shots of dogs we've already worked on. And currently in the bully world, we're working with 10 of the top breeders in the bully world. George Aguilar, Ife from Okie that owns Riff Raff, George that owns Louis V, Casey Chavez, great consistent program. Lisa Land, one of the best Frenchies I've seen. Val Macedo, who owns Grand Champion Mufasa, is also trying the product. We have James Branham, who owns Big Boy and Stan Lee. Cassie, who owns Grand Champion Beast. These are individuals. Ken Thomas, who's also hosting a show September 29th, Love Ken, Texas. Rogue Bully Science will be there, booth 2025. You can get in touch with these individuals personally and ask them, how their dogs handling it, how they taking it, and I guarantee you get positive feedback from them.
Yeah, Ryan McCauley over at Smoke and Barrel
Yeah,
Bullies with
Ryan. Yeah, Ryan is using it.
yeah, with Bear and Beowulf. Oh, who else? If it's okay with Luke, we can even post other dogs, not bully breeds, if you wanted to, that
Yeah,
the before and
exactly.
afters, puppies and dogs that were on raw that actually improved even more when you added origins to the raw diet. Major changes.
And you can we'll post that on the Rogue Bully Science
Yeah.
FB page. We'll post that later on today. Actually, this live we're gonna share later on today. So while we're doing this, please share in all the groups, all the bully groups out there. We're really trying to get the word out to basically educate. My biggest thing with the American bully community is I think we need to be educated on a lot of things. I think, like I said, I think a lot of stuff we're using that's being marketed to our community, we don't even really know what's behind it. Let's go. The next thing I want us to talk about is just talk about the difference between our product and other product that are out there that's supposed to be the same. So
Okay.
Cortez,
No worries. I don't bash other products. I don't like to do that. It doesn't
yeah,
need to happen. There's so much room out there because again, we're about education. That's part of our revolution is the educational revolution to bring that body of knowledge up. That way we can all be better decision makers because I'll just drop these little notes for you. The things that production animals, horse guys, beef cattle guys, dairy guys, swine raise, people who raise pigs and show animals and production animals, on the farms, the things we get to talk about are things like amino acid absorption curves, which protein is going to absorb better, and when do you give a pregnant or a female pre-season breeding certain vitamins and minerals because of the absorption and how much they need because of that cycle they're about to go through. The depths of conversations are, you might as well be on another planet. The dog world has nothing like this. We have the knowledge that non-dog animals have on their ingredients, the dry matter, the absorption rates. I mean, these are all these terms that the dog world has never seen before and don't even understand because there's a lot of calculations behind it and there's a lot of experience. So that is where I hope to get the industry and get owners to the point where we have enough resources and products and ingredients out there that we can start fine tuning and start talking about, does a 5% change in absorption of amino acids and methionine, pre-breeding versus, normal season, does that actually help reproduction rates? Does that help embryo development? These are the things that I get to talk about in other species that I wish we could have these conversations in dogs. So,
I mean, eventually, Rogue Bully Science, we're gonna get there.
oh, absolutely.
We've been in talks with ABKC. ABKC is open to us, Rogue Bully Science holding studies on certain things that we feel is needed within the bully community. So we have a lot of great things coming, educational wise for the bully community, just the overall dog world. So if anybody has any questions, please let us know. Another
Yeah.
thing I want to bring up is I want to speak on how Origin 5-in-1 supplement is great for older dogs.
Okay. Well, let me answer the last question, and then we'll touch on the turning old dogs into new dogs scenario. Yeah. So we don't bash other products. It's not needed. You've posted on the Rogue Bully Science Facebook page some comparison charts. So I definitely
Yes.
encourage people to go back to the Rogue Bully Science Facebook page, look at those charts, the comparisons, looking at, all it is looking apples to apples, folks. It's publicly available on their websites. All I did was just put them into, a nice little box and showed
To
you
compare.
what we have, what they have, what's there, not there. I did help unconfuse some of the packaging was hard to understand, so I put it into apples and apples. So I standardized serving sizes to a average 50-pound dog, which in the bully community, I'd say that's roughly average of what we deal with. Even in the non-bully world, there's average weight of dog is about 50 pounds. So I kind of showed apples to apples comparison. So I encourage you definitely to look at that and then go look at it yourself. Don't trust me. If you have questions, we're happy to answer them, but don't trust us. Go look for yourself and show that we were honest with that. Basically, I said it earlier, Origins is so different because we are the only canine or carnivore designed system of a supplement approach. So that makes us different. We're also different because we actually use a total gut health system, meaning that I'm not just throwing probiotics at it. I'm not throwing just a prebiotic in there with no idea what we're doing or why we're throwing yeast in there, why we're throwing butyric acid in there. I've created a systems approach in the right ratios over 5 years working with problematic dogs with health issues and correcting those health issues to tell me if we were on the right path and how we were able to solve those, and how we do it with usually within 2 weeks, but definitely within 30 days have huge abatement of the actual issue. So look at the post before, look at the charts, do your own homework, and ask us questions if you have them. So early on when I developed this, Hakeem, I was working with a lot of bird dog guys, a lot of working, hunting dog guys. And man, they always have these stories, right? Man, my best dog, when he was in his prime, man, he would kill it. Nobody could touch him. He was my best lead dog. I wish I can't, I've never been able to find another dog that had his intestinal fortitude and his drive and, all these reminiscing stories. And I was like, I just wish he could work again. Well, early on, our biggest compliments that we got was that we turned old dogs into new dogs like nobody's business. So here it is, an 8-year-old dog, which doesn't seem really old in the working dog world. It doesn't really seem old to me in general. But when you've been hunting that dog hard year round for a solid 8 years, the body breaks down. And part of that is the health, not the genetics really, but the body's not been given all the right food sources. They haven't been given origins, basically. Dry food leaches so much out of the body that it reaches a critical mass where the body just can't keep up. All the systems start breaking down, and they think the dog is broke. Well, I've shown that old dogs, they're not broke. They're just broken down. Thus, we can actually repair all the inefficiencies and give them about 5 years of turn back the clock about 5 years for that working dog. So we've had plenty of hunters, man, like, man, my old guy, he's ready to go again. He goes out. We take him out now every now and again, but we still don't push him because he is retired. We have old dogs that can't load up into the truck anymore because their joints are so bad and worn. Now they're running around the yard. They're acting a fool. They're jumping up on things. They just come back to life again.
Just a brand new life, new form of energy.
Oh, it's a new dog. They're like, this is a new dog again. Thank you, Nate. We've turned old. So on the breeding side, guys, we've turned old sterile females, 10 years old, 13-year-old dogs that were out of cycle, would never cycle again. Guess what? They're more than cycling. They're actually able to be bred to save a genetic line. So we've done this a couple of times already where we took a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old, healed them up, fixed them up just with supplement. That's it. And they were able to come back in the season. They cycled normally. They live bred. They whelped naturally, no C-sections. They weaned those pups like a champ, and the great healthy pups. And they're essentially an old dog that became a new dog again. So these are the limitations that we just have accepted as just dog people. Like, oh, well, she's an old bitch, she's put her in the back and just let her hang out. Well, because she's not cycling anymore. It's not that she's not cycling anymore because the body can't keep up and can't have those systems operating anymore. But when you fix the imbalances, the inefficiencies, you fix the lining, you fix the body, you fix the gut, it fixes the rest of the body. Guess what? The body's like, hey, we're ready to go. Let's start these engines up again. And we've got some crazy anecdotal stories from people who have left their old dogs at home with their husbands, and all of a sudden, all their male dogs are just howling and going crazy like there's a female in heat. But the only female there was their old female, their old competition dog, who was not in heat or never went in the heat, and now she is. And so they're having to suffer with that, all the howling and stuff like that. So
to order it, roguebullyscience.com. I'm going to place it in the comments. One thing I want to mention as we speak on this, a lot of things Nate just spoke on, is things we're bringing to the bully world.
Yeah.
So we're doing a lot of studies and research behind this, but we feel like this is something we can transfer over into the bully world. From working dogs. So I want people to keep that in mind. It's something we're working on, but we feel strongly about it and really believe we can. I believe this product can revolutionize the American bully community. So I feel very strongly about it, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to bring my partner Nate up more to speak to you guys about it. But if you're interested in more information on the product or ordering it, roguebullyscience.com is where you can order it. I have it in the comments. You have two different bags. You have a 2 pound bag and a 5 pound bag. And so you can check it out. And we love when people buy it. We want you to buy it. We want you to keep us updated. Any questions on feeding regimen, please reach out to myself or Nate, and we can help you with that. We love to have before and after pictures because this is not something we're just trying to sell. This is something we're trying to use to change your dog's life, and truly feel strongly about it.
So you bring up a
Go
good
ahead.
point there, Hakeem. I wanted to touch on there is that reason why we started we started working with you, and you've been a huge instrumental into helping us with the bully community, and realized that there was a bigger problem there, which is what we identified. And why we're working with the people that you've the early 10 early adopters there to start working with them, is that the bully community, I'm sorry, the bully breeds in general, they're not like other dog breeds. I can tell you
Yeah.
that. I'm an old pit bull guy. I've championed out in the ADBA. I write for dog magazines. I know the bully breed, the old bully breed, and so this product, we're hoping to find some more tweaks, the things that we might need to adjust to actually help the bully breeds, because
Uh-huh.
the exotics versus an XL, not the same. There's different GI diseases or gut health issues that affect them. Skin and coat issues are different. And so what we're trying to do is actually get some more feedback, because we might need to make a completely different product if that be the case. So we're not about trying to pigeonhole everybody into a one product fixes everything, which gut health will fix almost everything. But if we need to adjust something or add something or even remove something that will help bully breeds versus standards versus Frenchies or exotics, we want to know that, and we won't know that until we get more feedback from the users, from the bully community. So this is what we hope to talk to people about at live events, get their feedback, get their experiences, so we can know what we need to do. As a company, we try to be as socially intentional as possible with our products. But we are nothing if the community does not tell us what we're doing wrong or what we're doing right. And we want to try to engage that communication pathway as much as possible. So
Yes, feedback
please
is
do
very
not hold
important to
back.
us.
Be
Please.
honest. Let us know, because if we need to make some changes, that's what our job is here to do. We're
What's up,
trying to do
Abraham?
help.
What's up,
So
Ricardo? Yeah. So speaking on the exotic world, in the bully community, it's a big it's a gap between the exotic world and American bully community.
okay.
And one thing I think that I really feel our product is needed in the exotic world bad. I think the product can really revolutionize the exotic world. So I want to kind of speak on this because sometimes people look at these dogs at two different type of dogs, when at the end of the day they're dogs. No matter American bully exotic, you want your dog, forget the label, you want your dog to be a healthy dog, no matter what you personally like as an individual. So I want to speak on how Origin 5 and 1 can help those individuals that consider their dogs exotics. Exotics, a bad stigma with exotics is exotics don't live past 5, 6 years old.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's true, but it is some exotics out there that are healthy and live well. But majority, to me, in my personal opinion, have health issues. So let's speak on how Origin 5 and 1 can help on that side.
Yeah, I was actually talking with a few judges yesterday and the night before about that piece of information there about the lifespan of an exotic. I find it very interesting and intriguing in the same breath there, because I don't know many dogs who live that low of a lifespan. I mean, I can think of only a few insects that have a very short lifespan like that for obvious reasons, because of their biology and their species. So you mentioned earlier about maybe doing some more research and some actual scientific endeavors to understand what is the underlying causes for some of these things, and maybe some genetic issues that we can test for as a community
Yeah.
to make better decisions on the breeding practices to actually protect our investments and to step up the game of the breed and of the dogs themselves, because ultimately it would also help their lifespan if we could test and understand what's going on a genetic level, so we can moderate the inheritance of that health issue.
Yeah.
As Origins can do on lifespan, I ain't gonna go all crazy on you and say, oh well, we can add 5 years. No, I know I'm very confident on a very ultra conservative expectation is that I'm sure I can add 2 years of quality life on to almost any dog. Because of the gut health issues, how much we correct it, and this is scientifically proven. We have the data that will be released here shortly that shows that we can do this in 30 days, like biomarkers, cancer markers. We measured real data, not subjective, on a scale of 1 to 10. Did things change? We actually have true measurements from outside resources, from third parties. So, what Origins can do for exotics? There's a lot of health issues. I think we can add 2 years of quality life onto the breed. In general, to speak in general terms, a lot of it's just due to appropriate nutrition, absorption, fixing some issues. Because this breed seems to be, and I'm not being offensive or anything. I'm just speaking from a scientific standpoint as a problem solver, which I do day to day with production animals. Is I want to solve the problem. We're looking at absorption rates, GI issues, which is going to be a huge component into health. If you can't digest and absorb, the body can't get what it needs, and the body doesn't get what it needs. At some point, it just starts breaking down, and that causes disease, and it's just a downhill slide after that. So we could actually definitely help, because a lot of joint issues and inflammation issues. It's bread and butter for this product. The raw fish, the complete raw oil in this product is unmatched. Mm-hmm. It's not even available in any human version of this product. We are the only ones with this quality of product, hands down. No one else has this. And then you couple that with our approach and digestion efficiencies from what you've seen in your dogs, what others have seen in their dogs. It just adds and builds on top of it. So instead of the downhill slide, Origin's actually pushing that ball back up the hill to help you to help your dog out. That's how we improve the health. We force that ball to go uphill. That way the dog can just balance it up there and just keep it balanced, so it can stay in a positive balance.
Nice. Another thing, like I said, we're Rogue Bully Science. We're open to working with registries out there that are looking to improve the breed. We're looking to get some studies together. Right now, we've been talking with ABKC. ABKC is definitely making a big push to improve the breed. I just do certain things to basically educate the bully community. So again, this live was more to educate the bully community on the product that we're introducing to the bully community, which is Origins 5-in-1 supplement, which you basically mix with your dog food and improves your overall dog's health. Nate is the mind behind it, the scientist behind it. Wanted to use this as a basically give people an option to ask questions about the product, and Nate be able to answer it. So if there's anybody on this live that's looking to ask some questions, here is the perfect time. We wanted to get this live in before football starts at noon, because we know today's opening day, so we know once football starts, everybody's going to be glued to their TV. So if anybody has questions for Nate, please let us know. Rogue Bully Science will be at Ken Thomas's ABKC show in Lufkin, Texas, September 29th, booth 25. We will have some product there. I'll be there personally. If you have any questions, I'll be there to answer it. Rogue Bully Science also will be at ABKC Nationals. So, if you guys come to Nationals, we're going to be giving out bags of Rogue Origin 5-in-1 to all the winners at the ABKC Nationals, and also all the best in show at Ken Thomas's show, September 29th. We'll be getting a bag of Origins 5-in-1 supplement. Again, if you're looking for the supplement and more information, you can go to roguebullyscience.com. Nate, is there anything you want to add on?
Yeah, I'm still waiting for some questions to come in, but I see Michelle Schwartz is on here watching, and it kind of reminded me she's been on Origins for well over 2 years. All her dogs, she does agility and competes a lot. And one of her dogs specifically, well, she has a rogue baby, a true rogue baby, which is she has an Aussie that was both parents were on Origins. They were bred. All the puppies were raised on Origins essentially because the mother was always on it, produced some great milk. And then as soon as they took supplemental feed, the breeder was feeding Origins to all the puppies. Michelle continued to do that. So she has one of the early rogue babies, and that dog is probably 2.5 years, probably about 2.5 right now. But what's reminding me, she has an Aussie in her older competition dog, and dog's Kylie. She's a very sensitive dog, and so things like whey protein, flaxseed, these things that causes a lot of inflammation, and they're known allergens actually. The casein and the whey are components of dairy products. So whey protein, like that's a human product usually that we see
Yeah,
that in human supplements. Uh, that's not species appropriate for dogs.
I figured that.
It's probably the number 2 allergen associated with dogs, right behind chicken and processed chicken fat is about the number 1 allergen in all dogs. Casein and specifically whey and things like that, they're not species appropriate because dogs don't produce enzymes to break down casein to drink milk. Uh, if you think about it in this way, which is how I always think about ingredients, is there any dog-like creature, wolves, coyotes, things like that, where are they getting milk from? Once they're weaned off their mother, they don't touch milk again, ever. They're not drinking milk or getting dairy anywhere other form. They're eating protein animals, proteins and fats. They're also eating prey animals, which are designed to eat, other things. So I think about it as, well, is there an animal that's drinking milk or eating dairy products that a dog or a coyote or wolf would eat as well? And the answer is no. Once they're weaned, they don't drink milk again. So nowhere's in the food chain of a predatory carnivore animal are they getting milk again. Thus, none of the animals evolved or have any of the enzymes designed to break apart casein, protein, lactase, things like that. So that is why the dogs aren't able to handle it. They don't have enzymes. They don't process it. Causes GI distress. Causes a lot of problems in dogs. It's the same thing with giving dogs flaxseed meal and flaxseed. I got another idea for a live experiment, Hakeem, dealing with that to show people how
We're
crazy
going
that
to be
stuff
doing
is.
these live broadcasts every Sunday. We're going to have a live broadcast from Rogue Bully Science. One thing I want to throw in there, Andre asks, will it be at the USBR National Show in Conroe? We're currently working with one of the Rogue associates who will be at that show, so we should have some product at that show.
Yeah, we're trying really hard to get somebody there to have the product. I'll be in 2 shows in 2 different states, in Colorado and Wyoming, so I won't be there. Blake will. We're the sponsor of Susan G. Komen Breast Cancer Foundation. We're the Pause for the Cure sponsor. Blake will be over there. You're going to be at another national, so it's getting
I'm
really
going to be
tough.
at I'm going to be at Lufkin. So the USBR Nationals is the same day as Ken Thomas's show. So I'm going to be at the ABKC show in Lufkin, and we're going to try to get somebody else at the USBR show with product. And if you guys are interested on the ground, morning, Matt from Australia tuned in. Morning.
Good day,
What's up,
bud. No
Manuel?
worries.
Padilla just got his bag of oranges last week also too. So
Yeah. So I mean, things like flaxseed, which is in every other dog supplement out there. If you go look, flaxseed is the major component. Well, that's never been a species appropriate. It's actually even shown in humans to be a pro-inflammatory. So it actually causes inflammation in some regards, and it will disrupt the GI tract and the enteric tract. So the dogs again do not have the enzymes to process flaxseed. Now, going back to my logic and how I think about what's appropriate for a dog, there are some rodent species that would eat flaxseed in the wild. In addition, apart from human monocrop, agriculture practices that are designed, they produce a copious amount of protease and lipase and things to break down grains. So there are some species of prey animals that would eat that, but it would be a completely different format. It would not be a milled flaxseed that you give the dog directly. An animal would process it, ferment it, break it down, break it apart, and it would be a derivative of flaxseed. It would not be a straight flaxseed product. So basically, that's just making expensive poop, and flaxseed is super cheap, guys. It is super cheap. By the pound, it is cents on the pound to buy flaxseed. So
Andre
let you know what you're
Brisby.
paying for. You're paying for a lot of fiber.
Andre
Almost
Brisby
20%
has a
fiber out
question.
there.
He says, what are the advantages of Orange and 5-in-1?
I'm just going to go back to, looking at this, going back to the Rogue, maybe the Rogue Pet Science page, go to, and we have,
Yeah.
as we post more pictures on Rogue Bully
I'm
Science page.
actually going to post the website right now. Andre, basically, you can find a lot of information at the Rogue Bully Science page. One of the great advantages is that one of the simplest advantages is basically just improves your dog's digestive system. Your dog actually retains more of what it eats, and it's just good for the overall dog's health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you see, Andre, within about 2 weeks. So when you start adding origins, what are you going to see? What are those changes happen in 2 weeks? 2 to 3 days, the fecal quality, your fecal scores will improve. What is fecal score? Well, that's another great calculation that we use in the production animal world. Basically, the poop is going to look better. It's going to smell less. It's going to be drier. It's going to be smaller and denser, which shows that the dog's actually digesting the food and processing it correctly. So if you ever fed a raw diet to a dog, complete raw, you'll know what good poop looks like because it dries out fast. It changes color within 6 hours. That's what real digestion in a canine system looks like because we're on a clock. It's 12 hours at best in the end. So a breakdown, absorption, and elimination is on a timer, a short timer. So 2 to 3 days, the fecal output looks better, quality better, barely smells. The volume goes down. About 1 week in, week and a half in, depending on what's going on with the dog, the coat will start getting better. It'll get shinier. The color will change. So we're actually affecting real genetics here. We're causing the pigment to be expressed more in the new hairs that are forming as the dog turns over coat. And by 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in, your dog's coat probably already turned over by then and is looking amazing. And because the coat gets healthier and healthier the longer you're on it, that means the coat does not turn over as much. So the hair is so healthy, the skin is so healthy now that the hair doesn't break off and force itself to spend more energy and protein to grow more hair. So that gives a rogue dog, especially the black colors and the white colors, get brilliant, like dipped in oil look to them and a shine on them that you've never seen before. At the end of the day, in the show world, that looks great on a dog. No matter the dog breed is going to look a healthy looking dog. And honestly, at the end of the day, as a dog owner, we just want to see our dogs really love food. So when you see a dog licking their bowl for literally 10 minutes straight, an empty bowl, mind you, an empty bowl, licking an empty bowl around the floor for 10 minutes straight, making sure all of it's gone, at the end of the day, that tells you, I think my dog loves this stuff. And they will let you know when you mess up, when you stop or you forget to add it on. We have plenty of owners that their dogs refuse to eat without it. They look at them like, this is where we're at again, guy. You're like, really? Where's the good stuff?
Seriously.
And the cats love it. We have cats that eat holes through the bag to get it.
Nice.
We have other cats that will fight dogs off the bowl to get the product. They have to separate them now. We have a horse product that we're developing as well that do amazing things as well. So, like I said, it changes everything about the dog, their attitude. They're going to get more energy. So by 2 weeks in, which they're going to be sharper mentally. They're going to be clearer. They're going to be sharper. They're going to have a little more pep in their step. They're going to have a little more energy. Whether you're feeding raw or dry food, you're going to see the changes. I have a lot of raw feeders out in California that do protection work and do police dogs. And they're like, Nate, I'm not going to see much of change, but I'm willing to test it out, whatever. And they're like, yeah, we had to eat our words, Nate. I don't know how it's possible. My dog's coat is better, and my Mal is just a sharper in his obedience. He's just peppier. He's got a little more pep in his step. I didn't think that was possible, but man, I'm sold. I'm never taking him off of it. And so we support a lot of other agencies that have true working dogs that matter in their day-to-day life of what they're doing and what they're trying to accomplish, that love this product, and it's spreading in that community just as fast.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do now is kind of bring this to the end. Again, we wanted to use this opportunity to introduce Rogue Bully Science, introduce Nate, who's the mind behind it, introduce, kind of explain how we all came together. I would say in the next few months, man, we have a lot of great things we're gonna introduce into the bully community. We're working with, like I said, working with ABKC. We're working with some of the best dog bully breeders in the game. If you're looking for more information on the product, you can reach out to myself or Nate, or you can go on the website, which is roguebullyscience.com. And I want to thank everybody for checking us in. I want to thank Nate for his time. Man, we're gonna do this. This is something we're gonna do weekly, every Sunday.
Yeah.
So next week Sunday, Nate has a special experiment that's gonna be set up for us next week. So we're gonna be excited about that. Throughout the week, we're gonna post more information about Rogue Bully Science and the product, which is Origin 5-in-1 supplement. Anybody has any questions, like I said, contact either one of us. And peace out. Enjoy your Sunday. Enjoy your football. I'm about to go watch football. So you guys have a nice day. Thank you for your time.
Thanks,
Talk
guys.
to you later.
Later.